Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. Today I'm talking about Venus retrograde. Venus has entered the RX zone on January 30th, 2017 and will go retrograde on March the 4th, 2017. Then going direct on April 15th and it leaves the RX zone on May the 18th, 2017. Okay, Venus now, and has been since late January, is pulling around something within us. Something within us is swerving and shifting as we perhaps do not yet understand what love and romance truly means to us. She's pulling together something for us within that makes no sense for us yet, and later will be almost identical to the original blueprint that we were born in, because during this time Venus is swerving between Pisces and Aries. And this means to me that this dimensional shift that we're going through in terms of our romance, in terms of our humility, in terms of our care and our inner journey of love and creation, creativity, sexuality and passion is going to go 360. So because we've come here in a very specific time zone for each of us, we don't really understand what Venus is for everyone. We just know what it is for us. But during this time, I have a feeling that we might look around and see what other people might like. There is definitely a chance that during the first part of January 2017, we weren't quite yet understanding what our love and our care and our inner journey of passion and lust and sexuality really was. I feel that perhaps for you, as for me, early parts of January turned into later January that became true. There was something solidifying during the last few days of January. Perhaps we felt an urge or a lust for somebody, or perhaps we felt this is beauty, or this is care, this is something else. But during this retrograde, as it begins truly in March, I feel that Venus will spin for us a little tale, a tale of what we do not yet understand. And I feel for many of us, March will become a time of the year when we are absolutely not certain as to what beauty truly is and what love truly represents, as I'm feeling we are vulnerabilizing ourselves inside so much that eventually we'll cleanse out whatever preconception we were having that were wrong about love and sex and beauty and things of the passionate kind. And then I feel by the end of this transit, by May, when Venus is out of the zone, and by June 2017, I feel we'll start understanding that we were always there. We were always there. But then everything else that we thought was love is going to shift out. So what do you expect? Well, during this time, I feel that people will, it's almost like I'm seeing a net that goes over the body like a golden net, and it weeds out everything that we felt before that wasn't true. So for instance, anything to do with sexuality issues where we thought we identified as a certain type of sexuality will be wrong. I have a feeling that perhaps a few people have decided on certain style and certain type of glamour that will eventually be weeded out of their system, and by June, by late June 2017, there'll be a completely new, fresher picture of who you are. And since we're going through the year of the rooster, and there's a lot of things in the sky during that time, as the womanly energy connects us to Cancer, I feel eventually towards the shifting of the year, as we are going towards July and reaching a certain type of climatic understanding within us, I feel lots of women perhaps, and perhaps lots of men, will understand what they wanted in the past wasn't so. And this, I feel, is a really, really good time to consider being and just being and nurturing yourself during February month, as we're coming to the end of the astrological year. I feel that for huge amounts of people, this transit of Venus, as she goes into retrograde on March the 4th, will become something that's specific. I feel many different people will start specificating, or advertising to themselves very clearly what they feel is worth in a woman, what they feel is beauty, what they feel is love for a man, love for the feminine, what is sensual, what is sexy, what is enticing, what's beautiful. I have a feeling that during that time, people will start looking again deeper inside and also outside as to what is sensual, what is that which sparks in them a passion. But indeed, by the end of this transit, as we go on to June 2017, I feel most people will just be like, oh my gosh, I just went on a journey and I have no idea who I was. Perhaps you've had a romance with a client. Perhaps you would have done a lot of different things for people in other countries that perhaps you didn't understand why you did. Say you could have serviced a person who was mentally ill or unstable, anybody who was living in a different dimension to you. Anything to do with women who are of a promiscuous or mystical nature becomes really, really overhauling during the first part. I feel of January it sort of began, and by March, towards the middle of March, there could be definite urge to be with a woman who is impractical some way, or urge to be a woman who is a witch or like a magical creature. I feel that will elevate and balloon. I feel a lot of heads will be too big, people becoming a little bit too mindy about who they have become and what they mean to another. I feel that a few different people in the world will become very lustful for who they are in front of another, not in terms of what they're actually experiencing with another. I feel this Venus, as it builds up in February towards March, will go into liaisons, drinking, things like that. She's meeting Chiron in the sky, already has met Chiron perhaps by that stage, and she's going through a very, very, very sexy energy, and perhaps she feels that she belongs to nobody. So for women like myself, if you are going through some kind of a strange lustful experience or phenomena of superimposed places where you are a certain type of people pleaser with certain types of people, and you feel like your personality changes and shifts with every person, or you feel that you are becoming different types of lust for different types of people, it would be very, very, very clear to stay away from what it is that the outside guarantees you, and start feeling within and seeing, how am I in bed when I am by myself? What is it that I desire when I am by myself? What is the last nurture of the day? What is the last feeling of the day? What is that decadent moment when I'm in bed for the first time and I don't have to maybe service anybody or think of anybody or answer any messages? It's a very nice moon for it. We got a full moon in Leo, as I'm now in February. I got a build up to the full moon, and this is a very, very perfect time to perhaps wanting and needing is not something that is going to become blessed. It's more about identifying, and this is like the whole year for us in some ways, identifying what is your brand of beauty, what is your brand of love, what is your brand of lust, what is your brand of experience, and how true are you to you as a woman or as a feminine energy within a man. What is it that you lust? What is it that you love? What is the kind of woman that perhaps your mother would have been when she was young, if you're a man or a woman? What kind of person was it that you aspired to, or that inspired something in you? Or what was that movie that you watched perhaps as a child and you identified beauty for the first time? What was that energy that you evoke within yourself beyond lust, beyond everything? Because basically what's going to happen is we are going to go 360. We're going to go 360 in our feelings and our ideas and our desires, and we may remember certain parts of us that were not held. We might want to experience things that are not real. We want to maybe be with a person somewhere very far away when we've got somebody beside us that's really worthy. And then I feel eventually we'll come to a certain type of almost like a clarity, but it's almost like a non-dimensional clarity. It's like, wow, I always had what I wanted. Like, wow, I actually did not have to go out of my way. I didn't have to run around. I didn't have to start up new things. I didn't have to get my hair dyed purple. I didn't have to get this man in my life. I didn't have to do any of this. I just had to come back to center, which is my core Venus. So basically during this time, if you can, have a wander around, of course, because this is a time to explore life as a gallery and enjoy things and definitely taste and try the new, only to return back to yourself. Only to return back to yourself and understand that before you went on this voyage, before you were born, everything was already planned for you and everything was already predetermined. But yes, very nice time for decadence, very nice time to explore, very good time for that, but know that you will come back to yourself. So basically, if you're a woman with a man during this time and you're wondering about and you're thinking, I'm actually remembering somebody from the past, or I actually know that this person's going to treat me better, it would be a very, very nice time to stoic yourself out. It's almost like stop it, because you were already where you were meant to be in a way before January happened. There would have been something around December the 1st to the 5th, maybe there was already a window knowing exactly what you want. Perhaps during that time you wanted to get married, maybe you wanted to settle, and this is the time now also, as we are in this really nice window early February, to find out, to feel what you really are valued for, what people think is beautiful about you, maybe even to the point of remembering what people have said about your hair and your posture, anything like that. What do people notice about you that's beautiful, where you've been, what you found attractive about people when you were very young, before you explored yourself sexually, maybe before your mother decided that you should be with this type of person, and your father had pressure on you in terms of your marriage and partnerships. You should really, really recall and recollect those fresh new shoots that you had when lust and love were in the mix, and perhaps finding out what your child self wants in a partner, because you might actually design a life during this time which will not bring you purpose. And you might actually find during this time that the person that you're with, or the person that you started to suddenly commit to, is not real or dangerous. There's very much likely a chance that this person that you're going to meet, if you're a female during, or if you're a feminine identifying man, during the first part of March till the late part of June, you might actually recognize yourself falling for another person, or falling into a scheme for another person who's taking your money, who's taking your beauty, who's taking your abundance. So basically be very, very, very mindful of how you're going to approach people. Is there a good time to start something new? Yes, there has been January, has been preparing you for something new, but it could have been something within yourself. It doesn't have to be on the outside. It could be just a different path of yourself. But in truth, I do not feel, or I do not wish people to start new relationships in the Venus retrograde, because it's usually an exploring time that sort of comes back, and then we're like, oh, hang on, what did I do this for? So basically be mindful of how you're spending your life during this time. Very, very, very shifty time for fashion, and very good time to make a brand. Though it's not the best probably time to explore the new. For example, if you decide, I want to suddenly cut my hair off and I want to get earrings and I want to get, a piercing, it's not that good a time unless you've done it before and you're just remembering how you were. Say, for example, if you're a woman, very, very good time to have a look at the evolution of yourself. Very nice time to see, maybe when I was 16, I used to dress like this and I never thought I'd pull it off in my 30s. Maybe it's time to think about why you stopped dressing the way you did, or like how come your fashion sense has shifted back or shifted forward. What is it that you really want to do? What is it that you really want to communicate? And what is it that you really want to attract? Because Venus is an attractive energy. In this time, the goodest thing you can do perhaps as a female is stop thinking on the outside and go way back when. It's a very nice year to go way back when and have a look at your mother's line, have a look at the women in your father's line. What is the similarity? What's the accent there? How come this is the type of energy that you were born in as a female, and having a look at your identity as a woman in general beyond space and time through these particular families. And so it's not just about what my face looks like, how I wear myself, how I present my look. It's more about the feminine energy, the divine blueprint of the feminine through your family and through space and time. Yes, if you want to nurture somebody during this time that's small and meek, it's not the best time. So basically, we're going 360, we're going through the big diapason of Venus, we're going through the largest scheme of Venus between Pisces and Aries. It's like a window to creation. We're not really looking towards the small. So maybe you might be wanting to say start a little collection or little book club. It's not the small. This is a very, very nice energy to shoot up even during the first part of the retrograde, as usually we're quite weakened by the retrograde season. But I feel with March, the beginning of the retrograde during the first few days of March, and shifting into, say, more later parts of the retrograde as we are going into the retrograde and coming out of the retrograde. So maybe the 4th till the 7th of March, and then maybe the 7th till the 15th of March, something like that. Actually, the 7th till the 14th of March would be April. I'm sorry. So the beginning of retrograde for March and April 7th till the 15th would be a very, very, very nice time to structure yourself in a way where you think that you are bigger than you were, and even to the point where you are uplifting through community of women. You know, you are talking about feminine issues. You know, you're talking about what you mean to yourself as a woman from the earth that you're born on, and what your culture represents to you, what you are within yourself, how you carry the feminine within yourself without really denying yourself in anything. For example, very nice time to raise up weight issues, body language, things, the history of any type of shadow in your family. If there's been any kind of like abuse or rape, that should definitely surface during those times. And don't be afraid to vocalize exactly what you feel and what you think during that time, but know that eventually this will all come to an end and you will become another person. You will recreate yourself in other ways and other blueprints. So don't put too much stress and pressure on it. Just enjoy the retrograde for what it brings you, and get together with women on a big scale. I mean, if this could be a time to create villages for women during certain types of time, red tents, anything very, very, very vital too as well, like birthing ceremonies, like feminine retrieval, feminine reprogramming, anything to do for the women. If you are a practitioner and you're thinking, I'm going to plan a women's circle, do it now. Like, plan it, do it now, advertise it now. And then by March the 5th to 6th, I feel you could definitely run anything that is really, really stoic and epic, that is blueprinted in a greater consciousness of females on Earth beyond space and time. So maybe a primal or a tribal workshop, anything to do with dancing, belly dancing, drumming, nurturing, rebirth, blood ceremonies, ancestral tribal worship, ancestral Gaia worship, ancestral anything to do with the greater primordial mother type archetypes, and also to do with girls as well, like raising your girls different, but having a look at the roots of why, say maybe having a look at how girls are raised in different social groups around the world, having a look at the different dimensions of womanhood during this time, anything to do with a mother worship, but also like mother worship of the child during this time, and even to the point of treating everybody as your children during this time, because we're Pisces, Aries, and it's a very, very, very stoic energy. It's very good for expression. It's very amazing for unity of all people under one experience. It's a very amazing time to shift through everything and to show everything in you as well, and to understand that you are the world as a female. In terms of the men, it's not quite there. The experience of the expression of the primordial feminine energy is not integrated within itself, so the masculine energy cannot quite continue evolving or enveloping itself in new dimensions. So basically for the men, the deep design and the inner thoughts and the inner yin experiences and expressions will probably take the first below, if you are not somebody who is welcomed by women or is not a welcoming, innocent energy towards women, there might be a lot of redesign, there might be a lot of falling over. There could be yin-induced states where you can't leave the bed or you can't leave the hospital. I feel for a man, it would be a very, very opportune time to count on yourself and then to wonder. It's a very nice time to dream up something new. It's a very nice time, but don't situate yourself in this model image of what the female is. And that's the thing. Quite often during these types of transits, women are seen or portrayed as the perfect body, as the perfect archetype, the perfect stereotype of the divine, and that makes the man quite nurtured only for a short period of time while he feels that this stereotype holds up. But then, of course, the stereotype is created out of an illusionary void where people don't feel like they're good enough and they're too human to be real and things like that. So basically, if you're a man and you're looking at the woman during this time, especially from maybe the 7th of March, and you're wondering what it is about the woman that's sexy, you know, what is the best body, what's the best hair, you know, what's the best smile, what's the best aroma, you know, and you're looking at a woman as almost like a physical worship of pleasure for you, there is a problem there. And I would probably guarantee, actually, if there's lots of men out there during this time wandering around, you know, looking at the clubs, you know, wandering around, you know, the booking girls for massage, anything like that, I feel it'll give you such a likelihood of venereal disease and any kind of disorders, any kind of thing like that, because this is not the energy that we are evoking here. We're in a very primordial year of the rooster. We are in the year that is driven by family and the greater divine being from, you know, all space and time. And this will make you, I feel, suffer. But if you are like a baby, and in a way innocent, and you know not exactly what you want from a woman, and you not know exactly what you need, and you're graced by all the feminine experience that you see, it's a very good time to go to a live drawing class and to really heartfully feel the model without needing her to be a certain age and body type. It would be an amazing time for a man to go to a luxury place with a woman and to treat her no matter what she is to him, who she is to him. See? It would be very, very nice for a man to have a look at how he can nurture any type of feminine energy at all, even from a beggar on the street to like Dita Von Teese in a magazine. It has to be a merging, the joining of all different body types, all different faces, all different age groups, all different polarities between women that men have perhaps created for themselves during time. And if you can do that as a man, it would be so wonderful, and as a female as well, because we all have the masculine within us, to just see all the women in the world as an equal energy, just to see all the women in the world without needing to go into their gender like specifications, like a woman has breasts, you know, and a woman has, I mean, like all the feminine in the world without having to be about certain types of body parts or certain types of experiences. Even like it's like a woman is a woman is a woman, a feminine is a feminine is feminine, love is love is love. It's like she can be all sorts of things, you know. She could be driving a truck and identifying in a masculine way, which would make her masculine, but at the same time she's got feminine roots, you know. There's lots of different ways we could join up all the women under one vibration during this time and definitely connect to wholeness. I mean, if you want to, you can start by, say, doing little things for women all the time, loving different parts of different women all the time, seeing what is wishful about all women. And if you are a man and you're doing that work, okay, Jupiter is blessed through Libra, okay? We got Jupiter in Libra, we got money coming in through Libra, we got Venus, who's the accent of Libra and also an accentuating part of Jupiter. It's like she and Jupiter are almost like unbreakable when they're together. So basically you've got something there in the stars that shows you that perhaps with each woman that you give something to, each time you greet your roots with respect, each time you give your mother or your grandmother or your great-grandmother great appreciation, you are vibing out Libra Jupiter, and you're basically making yourself whole, and you are succumbing to a greatness within yourself that is perhaps more susceptible to money and fame and love and care and everything like that, pleasure. So basically use this time if you're a man definitely to manifest through giving to women and through loving women. I mean, I know it's like magic because you kind of know why you would do that, but at the same time sort of have a look at how it heals you and how it expands you beyond the practical and the material. And yes, for the women, I hope you enjoy this Venus transit as we are at the moment in the RX zone and a shadow. And we are going to definitely come out with more from it. You know, we definitely are. So if you are vulnerable now, if you feel like you are not pursued for the right reasons, so you're not real for somebody, just don't worry about it because you will be. And you will become whole. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you are well. Bye.